today. This is really exciting. We have amazing speakers lined up for you today. Just a couple of quick housekeeping notes. First, please silence your cell phones. Second, restrooms are available in the community room. The door right behind me is locked, so go around to the door on Bower Street and they'll let you in. Also, just a couple other things. Feel free to stay after today's speakers. We're going to have some tours of completed units, which will be great for you to go take a look. We're also going to have food catered by Jerry Deans. And fun little extra, we're going to have chair massages available after the event in the community room. So a good reason to stay till the very end today. Finally, you may have noticed that we have a couple of text to give signs throughout. Take a look at them. If you text Imani to the number listed there, you can donate to our move-in fund, which Logan will explain a little bit more in just a minute. But now, drum roll. Please welcome Blake the Brain Sanders.
Okay, it's not coming off. All right. Where my Barbie girls at? Any Barbie girls out there? Matt, not you, Matt. Not money making Matt. Where my Barbie girls? I have any Barbie girls? You're a Barbie girl? Well, sing the song. Barbie, let's go. Everybody. No? Not this type of crowd? Okay, nah, cut that, DJ. Cut that. All right, my bad. All right. Give me something different. Now, I'm going to do a whole new intro. So when... Jen, where you at, Jen? Come on, we're going to do that intro again, okay? Because I'm all about energy. All right, so y'all going to give me energy, okay? You know why y'all going to give me energy? Because they paid me for y'all to give me energy. They cut the check. All right, we're going to do that thing again, okay, Jen? Yeah, give me right.
Let's do a real drum roll. And now, please welcome to the stage, Blake the Brain Sanders.
Just had to do it. I don't know who hat that is, so hopefully it ain't got, something, yeah. You'll get what I'm saying. All right, listen, we are here to have a great time. My name is Blake Saunders, Blake the Brain, as they call me. Energy producer here in Delaware. I appreciate you guys coming out. It's a beautiful day for the city of Wilmington. We got great weather. Clap it up for yourselves, ladies and gentlemen. Let me tell you how big of a day this is. I got my dad said, hold on, is this the people in the front row? This the money? Logan, this the money, folks? I see you setting this the big mic. I call him, you got Mayor Mike Przicki. Show him some love. Clap it up for him one time. I got my congresswoman out here. Hey, Miss Congresswoman. Yes, always looking amazing. I got all my other folks. I'm sorry, I ain't even single them out, but they give me jobs. So, you know what I'm saying? But I got my dad right here. Both of my parents. Go ahead, stand up, Pops. Go ahead. Fashion extraordinaire. I swear to God. My parents both. This is big because my parents both grew up in Riverside. My grandma lived right there on the corner. Am I lying, Dad? She grew up right there. My other grandma was down the other end, and I know a lot of other people come from Riverside. Shout out to D. Reed, Stretch out of Riverside. Yep, had his own business. Shout out and my folks from Riverside. Who grew up in Riverside? I got some links to Riverside. Bucket 26, can we say that too? Riverside Bucket 26. Oh yeah, look at it. What you say? Sing it again. You can take her out the bucket, but can't take the bucket out of her. Oh man, all right, we're gonna get the show going. My fault. Listen, once again, welcome to the grand opening of Imani Village. Like I said, it's a great day we have our community members, partners, donors, elected officials, and more with us today. This grand opening of Imani Village represents a huge milestone, as we mentioned earlier, for the Riverside community. Riverside has been historically ignored for decades, but now, shout out to my man Logan and his whole team for making a change. Thanks to the work group, with incredible partners, including Penrose. Penrose, are you out here? Penrose, make some noise. And Pat and the crew, I see you over there. Pat, come here. Look at that suit. This suit is amazing. Where you at, brother? That is not JCPenney. Tell you that. Including Penrose, once again, the Wilmington Housing Authority. We got Wilmington Housing Authority. Make some noise if y'all out here. I remember as a kid, I always seen that WHA. I was like, what is the WHA? But now I know as I got older, yeah. I was a Section 8 kid, it's okay. Ongoing support, like I said, elected officials. We have some amazing speakers to get to, so I'm not gonna waste any more time. Like I said, we have a marathon of speakers. I don't even know how that happened. Am I allowed to say how many we have?
50-11.
We have 50-11 speakers. Don't think I'm playing. They got 30 seconds. They said it was supposed to be 2 minutes, but we had to cut it down to 30 seconds. That's how many speakers we got. Y'all want 30 seconds? Say yeah? Yeah. All right, 30 seconds it is, okay? So after you say your name, say thank you. All right, everybody get the show going, but I want to introduce my guy who's going to come up here, who's spearheaded this whole project, what's going on down here at Riverside and the WRK Group. Show some love for Logan Heron Sr.
Give it up one more time for Blake the Brain Saunders. Good morning, everyone. My name is Logan Herring. I'm the CEO of the WRK Group, the Warehouse Reach Riverside and Kingswood Community Center. This is a huge day. I'm just looking out this crowd. This is such a beautiful day. I was telling people this morning, I said, 2 things happen when we have press conferences. It's always good weather, and we're always done within an hour. We're going to push that second one, but we're going to do the best we can. All right, so just a housekeeping item. I know Jen mentioned this, but I want to mention it again. As everyone moves into this housing, the WRK Group is gifting them a $250 gift card. We just gave to the first 15 families on Saturday $250 gift card to Target. So you can clap, but we usually ask people to put away their phones. We actually want you to take out your phone. So if you can text Imani, I-M-A-N-I, to 50155, you'll be text back a link and you can donate if you should so choose. So we urge you to pull out your phone and do that. All right, now on to the business. So right now I'm reading a book, and it's called Start With Why by Simon Sinek. And in the book he talks about there's 2 ways to motivate. You can either manipulate or you can inspire. So I'm gonna try to do both this morning, okay? So for the manipulation, you heard how many speakers we have, 50-11, right? So I'm going to gift a prize to whoever is the shortest speaker today. That's the manipulation part, okay? Now for the inspiration. I firmly believe that a dream is something you wish for. I also believe that a vision is something you work towards. And a lot of people might say that those could be one and the same, and we might classify that as faith. But we all know faith without what is dead? Works. Right. All right. I see we got some church-going people in here. Praise God. And as the work requires us all to come together. And when you come together, that's called community. Some might call it a village. Imani in Swahili is faith. It takes a village to raise a child. You put both of them together. What do we have? Imani Village. Okay, we're a little slow this morning. You put both of them together, what do we have? Imani Village. Let me tell you what this village looks like. This village looks like an early learning academy at Kingswood Community Center, where we just graduated 23 students that are 100% kindergarten ready. Shout out to the Kingswood team over here in the green if you couldn't see them. A village looks like employing and preparing 200 teens for workforce in 2022 and over 100 teens on a daily basis at the warehouse. Where's Winona and my warehouse team? Give it up for the warehouse. A village looks like, where's D? Where's my friend D? Village looks like D, who lives across the street, reaches out to me, tell me about her past, about having 3 children with high-risk pregnancies, not in the best situation, but is preparing to move into the new homes. Yes. And because she's inspired, she reaches out and says, Logan, on Saturday, I want to do kids' hair to make them feel better, because I'm inspired. That's a village. Not to steal his thunder, but a village is also when D. Reed, who lived across the street, comes and helps build the homes in the very neighborhood where he grew up on the stoop with his wife. I know I'm stealing part of your thunder, but I got to give you the credit where credit's due. A village looks like Deontay Martin, who grew up in Kingswood in Riverside and talks about if it weren't for Kingswood, he'd be dead and in jail. And because a video we produced in 2017 went viral, we had Brian DeSabatino of EDIS reach out and say, I want to provide him with an internship every single summer. And when he graduates from the Williamson School of Trades, he's offered a full-time job at EDIS. And he's going to be the project engineer for the new $42 million Kingswood Community Center. That's a village. And today we celebrate what Reach and its illustrious partners, Penrose, WHA, DeSabatino. Where's Larry and Jeff? Give them a shout out. I see you in the back. Are just beginning to accomplish with these homes. And last but not least, you all are a part of this village. This is your success. This is our success. And this is just the beginning. So give it up for yourselves. So I'll be back and forth on the mic. I don't want to take too much time, but I wanted to set the tone and the precedent for keeping the remarks brief. Hopefully I was brief enough. But the mayor is coming up next, and I know Blake's going to introduce the mayor. But the mayor has to go to another engagement, and he was so gracious to give us just 15 minutes of his time. So Mayor, we appreciate you. So Blake, I'm going to bring you back, and then I'll be back to speak with you soon. So come on, Blake. Give it up for Blake Saunders.
Okay, if you guys don't already know, you guys are going to do a lot of clapping, so please get your hands ready, okay? Like I said, we got 11 speakers, and they're all going to say something that's going to inspire you guys and manipulate you guys, as Logan said as well. All right, I have the pleasure of introducing, this is my guy, right? So every time I see him, no matter where he is, he can be driving, walking, I just yell out, Big Mike, Big Mike! He's like, hey, Blake, all right. Ladies and gentlemen, I don't need no introduction. Show some love for Mayor Mike Przicki.
Everybody shows up after Blake feels like they're asleep. You know, I feel like I'm asleep. I thought I was going to come up and do one of those things. It looked like a total joke. I wouldn't do that much as I wanted to. Let me just, I'm going to try to be brief, but I will tell you that I'm so grateful. I'm so grateful as mayor of the city for the great work and dedication. And when I say love, I mean that people have demonstrated in this project. There's so much complaining that goes on. Everybody looks at so many negative things. And here we have in this corner of the city that has had a history of every challenge in the world. All of a sudden there are things happening here that you just can't even imagine, and nobody knows about it. And we ought to spend more time thinking about it. Logan, I don't know if you understand. I don't know if you understand at your age, so I'm not being condescending, but I don't know if you understand at your age what a blessing it is that you have had a chance to be part of something like this that you can attach yourselves to for the rest of your life. They can't take this away from you. I stopped in years ago and saw Jim Sills, a great friend, and he was so down. And he said, I just can't manage some of these headaches. They drive me crazy. I said, Jim, go out and build something. They can't take it away from you. And they can't take this away from you. Right. And so I look around and I'm so grateful for all the great things that have happened here. My friend Charlie McDowell, always an unbelievable believer in this corner of the world here with the great work over at Eastside Charter. And one of the best picks that I had a chance to influence, Ray Fitzgerald. You're an amazing guy, pal. And let me tell you something. Ray was able to see the wisdom of doing things differently when so many of his predecessors were stuck on tradition and the way things had happened. And that's really kind of freed this whole thing up. So I'm not going to take any more time. I am so grateful. I'm so grateful. I'm so proud. And I'm in awe of the great work you've done, all of you. So be proud. Enjoy this day, and especially you, Mama Bear. Thank you.
Appreciate that, Big Mike. All right. This next gentleman coming up to the stage, always loved his energy. I kind of modeled some of my energy behind him because every time he came down to Delaware State University, first of all, I got any DSU alumni here make some noise? State. There we go, DSU. I ain't gonna ask what class, but shout out to all my Hornets. 71?
Yes.
She proud.
Hey.
Shout out to the class of 71.
There you go.
There you go, amen. Amen. Lady right there. Now, so make sure I got the right thing. All right. I want to introduce a very special gentleman, Senator Carper. Senator Carper has spent, he's not here yet? Okay. We're going to move forward. All right. That's 2 minutes off the speech. All right, next up, we're going to move on to another senator. We're going, that's where we're going? Okay. All right. I'm gonna keep on moving. Another 2 minutes off the schedule. All right, next person coming on. I mentioned her earlier. She is so talented. She stands as a beacon of a leader to a lot of the women here in Delaware, in Wilmington as well. I don't need to give no introduction. Show some love for Congresswoman Lisa Pont Rochester.
Good morning, everybody. Good morning. Since the senators are not here, I will speak for 6 minutes. No, really, I am just honored and pleased to be here and as one of the partners. And as Logan said, this really is about Village. And I want to thank the board, I want to thank the staff, I want to thank everyone in the community that's participated in continuing to build and uplift this village. And when I think of village, you know, you mentioned some of the names of individuals, but I think of parents, I think of children, I think of veterans who will live here, I think of seniors who will live here, I think of people with disabilities, because this place is ADA compliant. And I just have to say, I hear you, BB, and I just have to say that Blake, I too was one of those Section 8 kids in the Champlain projects in Philadelphia, and we moved here in 1969. And so to be here, it's a beautiful day. It's a beautiful, beautiful, beautiful day to see where we are going as a community. And you mentioned Imani, the word meaning faith and belief. And so for those of us who remember all of our principles from Kwanzaa, we know another word in Swahili is nia, meaning purpose. I heard somebody say purpose. Yes, because this is purpose built. We built this for a purpose, and that is the uplifting of our people. That is the uplifting of our health, our wellness, our financial security, because generational wealth is what it's about too, right, Nerdit? So that's what this is about. So I am so pleased to be a part of the team that has brought millions of dollars to this project. Hello. Oh, it's a good day. I got my shoulders shaking. I got on my Charlie McDowell summer seersucker suit. This is a beautiful, beautiful day in the neighborhood. So I'm going to turn it back over. I hope I didn't go over time, and I hope I get a prize. Thank
you. Look, you keeping the time, right? All right, you better be keeping the time, good brother. All right. So, do we have Carper? Senator Carper?
Yes. But he's getting prepared.
He's getting prepared? Got you. We're going to keep on moving the show along once again. Thank you, Congresswoman. We appreciate that. I think you did probably like a minute.
I tried.
Maybe like a minute, 15 seconds. Next up.
Sorry, Lisa.
All right, next up, she was born here in Wilmington, Delaware. We want to bring up our next speaker, attorney. Okay, all right. Another 2 minutes, knocked off. Okay. All right, I know who is here. Money Making Matt. What's up, baby? Now, me and Matt got a special friendship. I made Matt dance. We had the HBCU gala, and I made him dance to Poison, and I didn't know he had it in him. But he had it in him. I said, Matt, where you hang out at? He said, Riverside. I said, you did? Listen. Oh, Matt, just come on up here. I don't need to do the introduction. Show some love for Matt. Money Making Matt.
Wow. Wow, Blake, I'm bringing you with me. It's good to see everyone this morning. Wow, this is quite a crowd here. It's good to be among the 2/3 of people here who's speaking today. I will be very brief. You're hearing from a lot of elected officials. Let me just talk a little bit about the job I had before I ran for office, and that was as a teacher at Prestige Academy, right down the street from here. Any Prestige families here? Good to see you. And I went into teaching because I wanted to make a difference, as is true of many teachers. And you learn pretty quickly that standing up and teaching y equals mx plus b and slope equals rise over run, for those who recall their 6th and 7th grade math curriculum, isn't necessarily what all of these kids need. And a lot of these children coming in, you very quickly learn, as many of my teacher colleagues know and educator colleagues know, that kids needed a lot more than I was trained to offer them in the classroom. And so what teachers do and what parents do is we talk about it and we say that things need to get done. And what I often see as county executive is that too often things don't get done. And it's a blessing that we're here today with Logan, but not just Logan, his whole team. Kenyatta and Dave Ford, wherever they are, Charlie McDowell, Sherry Dorsey Walker, the whole team, everyone in green shirts here at Kingswood. Give yourselves a big round of applause. Because in 2016, after I was first elected, I was sat down by the Wilmington Housing Authority, and they gave me some view of how we were going to be a purpose-built community, and it was a dream. I walked out saying, beautiful, beautiful dream, but honestly, what are the chances of this ever happening, right? What are the chances of this ever happening? But thanks to the people here, thanks to Logan, your personal commitment, your personal investment, your personal leadership, this has happened. And it's a legacy that's going to last for not just people here, but kids who are in schools in this area for generations to come because of your work and because of our work. Thank you very much.
Appreciate that money, Matt. What was his time? 2:04. I see it. That is the official 2:04. Now, what was Congresswoman?
2:17.
It's so good. Look, he's coming up right on time. Ladies and gentlemen, I need you to show some love for Senator Carper. Been doing it for years. Since I was a kid.
I understand you're surprised with the one, the shortest speech. That's it, folks. So long. Great song by, got covered by the Beatles, I think, but originally by the Isley Brothers. Money. And he has a lyric that starts like this. Lisa, remember this one. They say the best things in life are free, but you can give them to the birds and bees. I want money. That's what I want. Hold on up. That's what I want. All right, Lisa and I come along with Christmas, bring in money, and a lot of it. I'll be really brief. I was raised in a church. A lot of you were raised in churches, and you were raised to believe that we have a moral obligation to the least of these. When I was hungry, when I was thirsty, when I was naked, did you clothe me? Did you visit me in prison and everything? When I was living in a car, I was living under a bridge, or literally like living out in the open. Did you do anything about it? And the other thing is, like, maybe when I was getting better off in life and I wanted to be able to get out of an apartment and actually have a house of my own, did you do anything about it? And let us say, when we stand at those pearly gates and we're trying to get in St. Peter's, and say, well, Lisa, what did you and Chris and TC do? And we can say, we bought money. And we bought hope for a lot of folks to make sure that they're going to have a bright future. This is a wonderful day, and I'm happy to be a part of it. And my time's expired. Woo! Great to be with you all. Congratulations.
All right, let's go to the official time. 1 minute and 34 seconds. We have a new leader. All right. Now, I want to give a special shout out to Sam and Jen. Sam and Jen, where are you guys at? They have done a phenomenal job behind the scenes. Jen has put this script together. I want to make sure I read it. She said, Blake, I took my time. You better make sure you read all this stuff. And she took the time, so I'm going to take that time. All right, next up we got Attorney General Kathy Jennings coming up. She was raised here in Wilmington, Delaware. Her main focus is making Delaware a safer place to live and raise our children, making the justice system fair and equal to everyone, and combating that opioid epidemic. Please join me in welcome Attorney General Kathy Jennings.
Good morning, everyone. This is truly a joyous morning, and it's so good to see such a tremendous crowd of givers here this morning. Everyone deserves access to safe, affordable housing. It is a basic human right. But all too often in our state and in our country, it has been denied to people. We know that with housing, education, and healthcare, thanks to Reach Riverside, thanks to Logan Herring, thanks to Kingswood, thanks to everyone who is here today, you can put me out of a job. I mean, I tell Logan that all the time. You can put me out of a job and I would welcome that day. We announced a couple of weeks ago a historic settlement of $20 million. The New Jersey, Pennsylvania, and Delaware Attorneys General and the United States Department of Justice for historic redlining that occurred in Philadelphia, in New Jersey, and here in Wilmington. I was so proud that we were able to settle that case and bring in this $20 million to people who needed it. But I was also saddened that redlining still occurs. Today is the antidote. Today is the opposite, and today gives us hope for the future. It is joyous, and I am so honored to be here with all of you. Thank you.
Ooh. Can anybody guess the time? Madam Sherry said 128. That's exactly. Did you see it? Or you timed it yourself? 128. That's the new leader. All right, I got to go backtrack now. All right. Next up, we got coming. I actually went to college with this brother. We kind of came up in the ranks together. I watched him grow and keep growing. I want to bring up Senator Darius Brown, but he's a former Wilmington councilman, chairs of the Senate Judiciary Committee. He has served as one of the state's House champions of criminal justice reform. He is the second African American man to be elected to the Delaware Senate. Please join me in welcoming Senator Darius Brown to the stage.
Blake is indeed a brand, and I'm just glad to know the brand, known as Blake. Absolutely, absolutely. Won't tell those Del State stories, but. Well, good morning to everyone, and indeed, it is a good morning to be here. And when I think about why we are here, it is because over 7.5 years ago, there was a journey, a voyage, to think about how we can expand opportunity here in the city of Wilmington. And 7.5 years ago, Charlie, the mayor, Robbie, and we went to Atlanta to look at a purpose-built project on the east side of Atlanta. And we wanted to come back and duplicate that project here in the city of Wilmington to promote and provide opportunity. Today's dedication is the realization of that opportunity through Imani Village. As you heard this morning, Imani means faith and belief, and we recognize that for us to have this project come to fruition, we needed someone that could build a community and a band of believers for this project. And so the good book teaches us that faith cometh by hearing, hearing by the word of God. But then it asks a question: how can they hear unless there's a preacher? And how can he preach unless he is sent? And in the tradition of the Herring family, God sent us a preacher. God sent us a messenger. God sent us an evangelist. And he has brought this great band of believers together today. And where there was fear, and where there was doubt, we now stand on faith because of Logan Herring. Come on, baby. So, it's my job as the senator for the 2nd Senatorial District to welcome you to the 2nd Senate District, where I believe opportunity lives here, and thankfully today, faith lives here too.
Hey, I don't know if we want the church or campaign season. It was a mixture of both, brother. I had to pass the collection plate around here or something.
You can take an extra minute off his time. Words that brother shared right there.
Well, what was the official time anyway?
27 seconds.
All right. It's an honorable mention. We ain't gonna mention the time. That was just a guest speaker. All right, we're gonna keep the show moving. I'm glad you guys are having a great time. Also, I had to mention also that they have a text fund going on. If you see these signs, make sure you check that out. So a lot of people there are moving in, and if you want to donate in any way, form, or fashion, any amount, please go ahead and check out that sign, and you can donate, and you text the word Imani to 50155 if you want to help some people move in, all right? Amen? Amen. I feel like we're in a church right now. All right, we're going to keep this thing moving. I know Stephanie T. Bowden has not arrived yet, but we're going to keep on moving. This councilwoman, we have grown closer over the last year. She's great friends with my father, so I always hear a bunch of stories. She is a testament of her work in the community over the years. Councilmember Spendola is a excuse me. Yep, my bad. Players mess up too. Players mess up too. I want to bring up Xanthia Oliver, who is a native of I got you, Mama. I know you ready. You ready to just come up here, huh? Come on up here then. I ain't gonna need to do an introduction. Come on. Show some love for Councilwoman Xanthia Oliver.
Good morning, good morning, good morning. I too have to go because Peg Tide is having something, and when Peg calls, you have to go. Okay, this is an historical and great moment for the Riverside residents. I have family members who lived in public housing that once stood on this land. For so long, the community has been overlooked. The redevelopment in the neighborhoods in this area will be helped and enhanced by many. I'd like to thank Logan, Kenyatta, and the team work group. This area of Wilmington is now getting the access and resources that's needed. I'm excited about the community, the residents that now will be able to enjoy all new mixed income family rental communities and improvement in living environments. Thanks to the Sabatino and all the subcontractors who did an outstanding job. Over the last few years, we've seen housing costs rise far too much. So with that being said, I cut this all the way down because I want to get a gift. And thanks to the grand opening, and thanks to everybody for joining.
What's the official time? 1 minute and 5 seconds. You are the new leader. Show some love for the new leader. We're gonna keep it more. I seen my beautiful Stephanie T. Bowden. Come on up here. Come on up here. We need to do introductions. I know she's always running around. You see her. She's all around the city, all around the state. Show some love for Stephanie T. Bowden. Come on, I'll take your purse, man. Give me your bag. Oh, I heard it's your birthday today. Happy 30. Look, she just turned 35. Happy birthday. Y'all know how we do it. Look, y'all know how we did in Riverside and all that stuff back in the day in the culture. Sing it with me. Happy birthday to ya. Huh. Happy birthday to ya. Finish it. Happy birthday. Let's go finish it. Happy birthday. Sing it, y'all. Happy birthday. Happy birthday. All right, so come on up here. All right, somebody get some cake. Maybe taste the cake.
How do you expect this? First of all, good morning, most honorable guests, all our platform speakers, etc., the contractors, the developers, and just everyone that's here, the residents, the old residents, the new residents.
Right.
Give yourselves a hand for getting up this morning. Today is a celebration, a time to welcome the Imani Village to this community, and it's also a special day because I'm so glad it's occurring on my birthday. As I look around, and I was over here yesterday to tour, it's just amazing because I remember the history of Riverside and the people that grew up here, as well as the families that made Riverside what it was back then in the 60s. Also, those that prospered from having lived here.
it wasn't just a place to be, it was a place to be able to grow, prosper, save, and then go on. A lot became their own entrepreneurs. And we have many people that have excelled in their careers, etc., that have lived here. We have one that's sitting right here now, Roy Campbell. Stand up, Mr. Campbell. And it was a host of mothers. I lost my mom at the age of 5, so I had a host of mother circuit moms that lived here. I grew up at 1320 East 29th Street for a short period of time. My girlfriend's parents were my parents. So this is the type of community that it was. And I cannot say what it was back then, but we're going forward to look at what it's going to become today. Riverside was a close-knit family and community with several successes. Like I indicated, one sitting here right here today. Martha Randolph was one that I lived with at 1320 East 29th Street. She became her own entrepreneur and ended up owning her own salvage business. You also had the Williams family, whose son became the only local mayor for the city of Wilmington, Dennis Williams. And you also had Gary Foreman, who was the AA for former Mayor Dan Frawley. So it's a lot of history here, and I can even say to myself, who grew up here and was also on city council for 5 terms, and also a state rep. And all of this came from Riverside and the family that we had that was here. So I can't say enough, because I served on 2 or more task forces to rebuild Riverside. And none of them made it through. They all failed. However, this task force regarding changes for Riverside community to no avail came forth until we had Mr. Logan Herring become the executive director and CEO of this community. His steadfastness, his great dress, and his great board and community worked hard, enduring every aspect to make this happen. The Imani Village is what minorities and public communities can become. To those who can stand, please stand and give all of you a hand to let this happen. Thank you. I started off by saying and reflecting on what was. It is my esteemed privilege to participate here today to see what is. Thank you.
Definitely will not get the prize.
All right, I think
They didn't tell me it was a time limit.
she didn't know you didn't get the memo, did you? What was her official time?
But it was a good time.
10 minutes and 3 seconds. It was 4 minutes and 3 seconds. It's okay. She doubled the time, so she spoke for Senator Coons, too. I guess she took up this time. We trying to cut back on time. All right, we're going to keep this thing moving. All right, I know we're out of order. I got to find it right here. Okay. Mhm. Listen, this is out of order. Can I just... I'm going to bring up the next councilman, James Spadola. Come on up here and speak.
Right here, Frank, right here.
Oh, yeah. Oh, there he is. There he is. My fault, Glenn.
Good morning, everybody. So I am here more so in my role as the former board chair of the Wilmington Housing Authority. And it was 2017 when the mayor was recently elected and picked his new slate for the Housing Authority board. And Charlie and the mayor reached out and said, hey, you all should go down to Atlanta and see the purpose-built community there, the villages of Eastlake that Senator Brown touched on. And we learned about what it used to be, the high poverty, the crime, the pervasive shootings, and then we saw what it was, a beautiful cradle-to-college pipeline with too many success stories to count. So we came back all motivated to do what we could to help partner the Housing Authority with the, I don't even think there was a name for each at that point. But so we started having some meetings, and we would tell the residents about the positive change coming. And they would say, we don't believe you. Right, Ms. Coker? And then I would tell them, no, this is different this time. The The mayor's team is on board, the federal delegation's on board, the state delegation, and they would say, we don't believe you. Yet here we are today, after a pandemic, inflation, supply chain issues. Look at what is behind us. And I see Miss Watson and her daughter Aisha, who are on the trip to Atlanta with us. And this is great. It's a great day. Forget about the people who brought this here. It's really about the residents. And, I see Ray Fitzgerald from time to time, and he always asks me, James, what are you hearing about the Housing Authority? Because he knows that no news is good news. Well, Ray, today, at this once every quarter century event, this is good news. Thank you, everybody.
Official time, 1 minute and 52 seconds. It's okay. It's okay. Great effort, though. Great effort. I gotta find my place. All right, here we go. I think I got it now. All right. All right, next up, I want to introduce Aaron Bass, who is the CEO of Eastside Charter School and a longtime partner of the WRK Group. In 2017, okay, you ready to come up here? You ready? You want your introduction, or you just ready to come? Okay, I worked hard for this player. Go ahead and say it. Okay. In 2017, Family Foundations changed its names to Charter School of Newcastle, and both charters joined under the umbrella of the Vision Academies. Vision Academies is the only network of charter schools that works with students from kindergarten through college in their first career. Mr. Bass founded Breakthrough Fort Lauderdale, served as president for the National Breakthrough Directors Association, and served as co-chairman of the Fort Lauderdale Mayor's Educational Board. He also served as the instructional consultant for the Philadelphia Eagles. Any Eagles fans out there? Welcome to the podium, Mr. Aaron Bass.
Good morning. So I want to say this is a wonderful day. It is a pleasure. So glad to see Dee Reed. So glad to see Logan and his incredible team. Thank you to the WRK. I want to say thank you to Charlie McDowell, also on the board. I also want to say thank you to Kenyatta, to Dave Ford, and to all those who contributed and done such a great job. I come to you as the CEO of Eastside. I also come to you as a parent of an alumni of Eastside Charter School and a current student already enrolled at Eastside Charter School. We believe in the work that we do so much that our children in the last 3 years have earned over $1 million in scholarships to independent schools. I also come to you as a parent of the Teen Warehouse, and so glad the work taking place here. As an educator, I wanted to say that for Eastside Charter School, we give stories all the time, so I'll do one quick story and one about the Eagles, because that's our mascot. So there happened to be this farmer who was on he's just farming all day long. He worked with chickens, and he decided, you know what, I'm going to go for this long walk, and he went for a walk, and he came across an eagle that was injured. It was a baby eagle. And he saw this eagle, and then the wing was hurt, and he said, he looked around, couldn't find any of the eagles. He said, I will take care of this eagle. He took the eagle back to his farm, he mended the wing, and he said, well, I have to put it out with my chickens because I can't keep the eagle inside. So the eagle would go around with the chickens, and when the man would take the eagle's food and he would put it up high and the eagle wouldn't touch that, he would go off and eat with the chickens. When the chicken started walking around, the eagle started acting like a chicken. When the eagle was fixed, the man thought, well, of course he's going to fly away, but he didn't. Because the eagle thought that he was a chicken. He looked around and saw chickens. He acted like a chicken. He talked like a chicken because he thought he was a chicken. So one day the man took the eagle off to the edge of his house and his property, and he held it up high, and the eagle would not fly. The eagle just flopped off and flew back down and went back to the eagles and started walking. A wise man came and he walked and he saw the same place and he saw this eagle because people were talking about this chicken eagle. And he said, well, where did you find this eagle? He said, well, I was walking and I was over on that mountaintop and that's where I came across this eagle. He said, take the eagle back to the mountaintop. So the farmer then took the eagle and walked up to the mountain. As the eagle was walking, was held and was looking around, it started noticing things that looked familiar. It started seeing places that people cared about it. It started seeing where it had come from. And before he can get to the top of the mountain, the eagle flew away. I want to tell you right now, we have some incredible Eagles in this village who will look around, who will see the work that WRK has done and know that somebody cares about them. We have people who are seniors who are going to look around and see the work that WRK has done and realize that they can fly and they can soar. I want to tell you right now, we have too many people that have been set back and held back for too many other issues other than knowing that they are Eagles. And so we are so glad to see that today WRK has put their actions behind their words, and we are now up on the mountaintop and looking forward to seeing our Eagles fly. Go Eagles.
Is that a challenge going? What we got going on here? We ain't timing that neither, huh? Just gonna let that keep on going. We appreciate that, Aaron. That was a good word, man. Shout out to the Eagles. All right. I'm gonna keep this show going. I got Mr. Ray Fitzgerald coming up to the stage, but just a few words about him. He is the executive director for the Wilmington Housing Authority. As the executive director, Ray is responsible for approximately 1,600 public housing units, 218 tax credit units, and 1,970 housing choice vouchers, and a staff of close to 100 employees. Ray oversees the planning implementation, the direction, and administration of all WHA programs and functions. The Wilmington Housing Authority has been an invaluable partner in the development of the Imani Village. So please show some love for Ray Fitzgerald. Big Ray, what's up, baby?
Don't start my time. Good morning. There's a lot of people to thank for everything that's going on today, but in the sake of time, I'm not going to thank I'm going to thank everybody all at once. Thank you. You know who you are. I'm proud of what this team has been able to do together. A lot of exceptional people that worked very hard to get us to this point. I describe this team as exceptional because they stayed committed to the work. They stayed committed to the process. Most people don't want to be a part of the process. The process is hard. So most people want to be part of the outcome, the fun part. But the process is important. The process is how you figure out who's worth being part of the outcome, or better stated, the prize. Today we celebrate all the folks who are part of the process. We celebrate the leaders, the managers, the staff, and other folks who work for and with the residents to prepare them for today. Most of all, we acknowledge and celebrate the Riverside residents who stuck with us, who decided to trust the process. Thank you for your patience. Thank you for believing. You have earned the prize to be part of this beautiful community. Today we celebrate this tremendously successful outcome. And for my Penrose folks, phase 3, phase 3, phase 3. This is just the beginning. We can show you better than we can tell you. Watch us show you. Thank you.
Official time is 1 minute and 21 seconds. Good effort, though. Good effort. Good effort. Hold on. Did you count when he was up here getting together? No. You started? Okay. Wait till the good point. All right. Listen, we appreciate you guys. Keep staying with us. We're almost there. I know. Is Eugene, my guy Eugene, get here yet? Pretty sure I probably would have seen him. Okay. All right. I'm bringing up Logan to do the introductions of the next few speakers.
So I get a text and I get an email every time we get a donation, and my phone is blowing up right now. So I'm going to announce it one more time. Text Imani to 50155. I appreciate those who have donated and those who are about to donate, because I'm just prompting you to do it again. So thank you. I wanted to make the introduction for these next group of speakers because they are my bosses. They are the board chairs of the 3 organizations in which I am tasked to lead every single day: the WRK Group, the Warehouse, Reach, Riverside, and Kingswood Community Center. And without them, I would not have employment, and we would probably not be sitting here today. So I definitely want to give them credit. I'm going to be bringing up Charlie McDowell, the board chair of Reach Riverside, Representative Sherry Dorsey Walker, board chair of the Warehouse, and Ray Rhodes, board chair of Kingswood. And is Anaya here as well? Anybody see Anaya Patterson? Okay, Anaya is the board co-chair. She's a teenager. She's been working with us since 2018, and she is the co-chair for the Warehouse. How empowering is it to have a teenager as your boss? She's at downstairs. She's probably in school doing what she's supposed to do, so shout out to her. I also want to give a special shout out, and they said he probably wouldn't want me to mention this, but Charlie this week is celebrating his 50th wedding anniversary. So, Delaware's a small place, Charlie. You can't get away from it. So, can I bring my 3 board chairs up? Give a round of applause to my bosses. Charlie, Representative Dorsey Walker. Is Ray here? Ray Woods? Okay. We'll give some love to Ray. I know he's getting back from vacation.
You're not eligible, so I'm not timing you.
You can though. Good morning, everyone. It is indeed a pleasure and an honor to be here, and happy birthday, Mother Stephanie. Just really quickly, because we are on a time constraint here, I love serving as the board chair for the teen warehouse because we're sowing into our future. What I'd like to share with you, just really briefly, are 2 of my favorite scriptures. And the first one is, seek ye first the kingdom of God and all his righteousness, and all of these things shall be added unto you. The next one is, this one moves me a little bit. Faith is the substance of things hoped for and the evidence of things not seen. My brothers and sisters, we are standing before the evidence of God's grace and mercy. God bless you.
Yes, this is our 50th wedding anniversary, and today happens to be my wife's birthday as well.
How lucky can one woman be?
Well, let me just tell you how lucky I can be, for sure. I'm going to claim the time that Ray, Rhodes, and Nadia would have taken because I'm going to cover a lot of the same territory that others have covered because I think my role as the board chair of Riverside really is to thank the many people that have gotten us here. And I'm going to be coming at it from the perspective from the 7.5 years ago when we started. And this has been a long time coming, over 7.5 years, but the wait.
Take your time, right? Take your time.
The wait pales in comparison. Help me out, Logan. The wait pales in comparison to the wait that the residents and their ancestors have endured for generations to get justice in housing. It's impossible to single out one or even a couple of people who are mostly responsible for this because there are so many individuals and organizations that have been involved and collaborating to get here. And keep in mind, and you know from the prior comments, that the housing that we see here is just the tip of the iceberg of what we're doing with respect to education, health, wellness, safety, workforce, and commercial development. But first I want to thank the Riverside residents because they have been here from the beginning. Our mantra is that we work with the community, not for the community. And the Riverside residents were involved from the very beginning with the master planning. I see my good friend Gina Watson here, who I first got to know on the East Side Charter Board 10 years ago, Gina? I don't know, but maybe that's 13 years ago. That's right. So the beginning thanks goes to the Riverside residents. Next to the Wilmington Housing Authority, who made the property available to us, and thanks to Penrose Development, who's done this magnificent job here. But to recognize the source for the overall strategy, we have to go back to the beginning, to Tom Cousins and purpose-built communities in Atlanta. Purpose-built pioneered the holistic approach to neighborhood revitalization and nurtured Reach Riverside to become a community quarterback for this effort. As you may know, Reach is one of 28 purpose-built affiliates around the country working on a similar strategy. And I'd like to thank particularly Purpose-Built CEO Carol Naughton, who is here for nurturing us along. She's The next most important person to recognize is Mayor Mike Brzezicki, and I'm sorry he had to leave. But we wouldn't be here today if Mike had not been elected mayor, because when he came into office, he replaced the leadership of the Wilmington Housing Authority Board of Commissioners to get people who were interested in doing this kind of approach. And look where it got us. Now, next I want to talk about of course, I want to express particular thanks to the board members of Reach and Kingswood and the warehouse, and all of their names are in the program that you have. So please take a look. The founding board members of Reach were critically important because these well-respected members of the community gave this organization instant credibility with the government and with the fundraising community. It was absolutely essential that we get that, and that's what got us off to the fast start that we've gotten off to. And now I need to talk about the fundraising support. We've gotten tremendous support from all sectors, from the government, from business, from the philanthropic community, and from many individuals. But this effort was led by our campaign co-chairs, Carol Ammon and Jack and Carla Markell, Don Fulton, who's our development committee chair, and hardworking committee members, Sissy Aronson, Fred Sears, Jim and Jocelyn Stewart, Dave Cisco, Joan Coker, and others. And we also got great help from the Curtis Group, who are our campaign consultants, and our tremendous leaders development team, now led by Danielle Sullivan. And all of our significant contributors are listed in your program, but I have to call out some in particular. The governor for awarding us $26.4 million, which is that's going to accelerate this next phase 3, so that in 2 more years we will have built probably 300 units. We will have been able to move everybody from the existing living center over to the new units. And then the state legislature and the governor also for $10 million from last year's bond bill for the new Kingswood Community Center. And the Delaware State Housing Authority, I'm sorry Eugene is not here, but they award the very valuable low-income housing tax credits, which are essential to the housing. You can't get it done without that. And another $10 million from the Delaware State Housing Authority from its, well, not 10 million, but another low-interest loans from the Housing Development Fund. But another $10 million, Senator Coons and Senator Carper and Representative Lisa Rochester got us from the federal government, also for Kingswood. And Lisa and I did talk this morning about our guest. We coordinated. And let me add that it is entirely appropriate that a significant portion of the funding is coming from government sources, because it was federal governmental racially discriminatory housing policies that got us largely to where we are today, and we're still making up for that. Now, I want to mention some particular local business and philanthropy. Capital One donated what is now the Teen Warehouse to us. We got significant grants from Barclays, JP Morgan, Chase, Wells Fargo, CSC, WISFIS, Bank of America, M&T, TD Bank, Delmar Repair and Light, Nemours, Highmark, Insight, and Christiana Care. And I hope I didn't omit somebody who's in the audience right now. Come on. I'm getting there. And Christiana Care has also established a medical clinic at Kingswood and has plans to do the same thing at the Teen Warehouse. More significant grants come from many foundations: Longwood, Welfare, Crystal Trust, McLaughlin, Delaware Community Foundation, Jesse Ball DuPont, Gilliam, Laffey McHugh, and federal Louis Capano Foundation, and national foundations, even Blue Meridian Partners, Kellogg Foundation, and ECMC Foundation. And lastly, individuals. More than 750 people have contributed $3 million. So overall, with a total goal of $300 million, we've already raised $124 million, and some would say, so that's a lot of money, and some would suggest that that's enough. But keep in mind, we still have $176 million to go in order to finish the job. And we proved that we can put the funds to good use. And also keep in mind what Logan says regularly is we plan to work our way out of a job. We are providing hand-ups and not handouts. Lastly, and probably the most important contributor, I said you couldn't identify one as being most responsible, but I think that's probably not right, because I have to identify our talented management, led by Leah, led by our charismatic CEO, Logan Herring, and his very able and creative leadership team, Dave Ford, Kenyatta McCurdy-Bird, and now recently joined by Laura Mood as the new Chief Financial Strategist. Plus Julie Bieber and Winona Sutton, who are the directors of operation of Kingswood and the Team Warehouse. And Logan has proven to be an outstanding fundraiser, and he's getting national recognition for it, which is well deserved. And I had some more to say about the programs that we're doing to raise human capital. I mean, building buildings is hard to do, but improving the human capital is even harder. But we're working on that. And that's what's going to be the touch point going forward, you know, and there are going to be great stories that are going to be told in the future. Ultimately, the goal is to nurture to success a thriving mixed-income neighborhood where all residents have the opportunity to live joy-filled lives.
Thank you to the board leaders. And we ain't even checking the time when he did it. Nope, because he's at the top and cutting over a check. Okay, all right. Hold up.
He said a lot of meaningful things, but he forgot one. So blame it on his head, not his heart. But I want him to have an opportunity to speak.
Yeah, blame it on me for sure. I'm sorry it was discombobulated here. But the one organization that wasn't mentioned, I do want to mention, is the Comores Company. And particularly, in addition to support for Reach Riverside, Eastside Charter is in the process of building a $22 million expansion for its middle school. It's going to be a community discovery STEM hub, community facing, and Comores made a substantial grant to get us off the ground to get that done. So I need to thank you very much to the board.
All right, we're almost there. We got about 5 minutes, maybe 5 to 6 minutes left, all right, with the average speaking time. All right, we're gonna keep the show moving, all right? Next, I wanna welcome Carol Norton, who's the Chief Executive Officer of the Purpose-Built Communities and nonprofit organization dedicated to improving racial equality, economic mobility, and health outcomes in the communities across the country. So show some love for Carol Norton.
Hi, everybody. I am so honored and thrilled to be here with you today. It's been a long time coming. You all have been working hard on this for a long time. It is such an honor, to really celebrate the opening of these first 74 beautiful homes in Imani Village. The first 74. There's a lot more to come, and while we're going to celebrate today, in an hour or two, we're back to work, because there's a lot more to get done. At Purpose-Built Communities, we are neighborhoodists. That word doesn't really roll off the tongue, but we really believe that neighborhoods are the places that shape us. It's where we build friendships, where we learn, where we grow, where we work, and we know that healthy neighborhoods produce healthy, happy people. And high-quality mixed-income housing like we see behind me in Imani Village is the kind of anchor that every community needs in order to create those opportunities for those happy, healthy people. They're a critical part of strengthening the fabric of the community, and we are really proud to have supported this work from inception to delivery. The partners here are amazing. You have figured out new ways to do things. You have figured out how to leverage every relationship that's possible in a way that makes the whole so much greater than the sum of the parts. I have to give a shout out to Logan, right? Speed of the captain, speed of the crew. I don't know anybody who's faster, smarter, harder working than Logan, and we all are better as a result of that. We know that this lovely development, along with a neighborhood-serving cradle-through-college education pipeline, community health and wellness facilities and programs, and economic vitality opportunities are critical strategies that are necessary to support this neighborhood so that it becomes a sustainable neighborhood for families to support folks for generations to come. And we want everyone who lives in this neighborhood to experience greater racial equity, upward economic mobility, and better health outcomes. You know, one of the things I admire so much about the team here is that you are elevating resident voice and power in all of this work, so that the community members are leaders here in what gets done and what is prioritized. And that's so important, and it doesn't just happen. As I was listening to these remarks earlier, I was thinking of Eva Davis, who is the president of the East Lake Meadows Resident Association. Miss Davis was my mentor, one of the most important people in my life, both personally and professionally. She passed about 10 years ago. She would be so proud of what you have all accomplished so far and where you are going. And so, on behalf of Miss Davis and all of us at Purpose-Built Communities, we just say congratulations. Keep up this good work. There's so much more to do. We'll celebrate today, and we'll be back to work this afternoon. Thanks very much.
Thank you, Carol. We appreciate you. Next up, we have a representative coming from Mid-Atlantic Regional Administrator, U.S. for the Department of Housing and Urban Development. I want to welcome to the stage Matthew Heckles.
Good morning, everyone. It's good to be home. So my name is Matt Heckles. I'm the Regional Administrator at HUD. But before that, I had the privilege of working in Delaware State Housing Authority for 12 years, in the state of Maryland for 5. But during that time, I was able to stay on the Wilmington Housing Authority board and even serve as chair for a year, which put me in touch with the Riverside community here. And through all of that, I learned what dedication and what great people and what great projects and results were coming here. I've spent my career in affordable housing and affordable housing finance and development, and I know how hard this is, and it's really hard. It's a lot of work, and it takes all of that dedication to get something like this done. But now in my role at HUD, it's a pleasure to serve the Biden-Harris administration and work with Secretary Fudge on making sure that this type of development that is providing affordable housing in a new way, in a way that also recognizes the value of the residents and connects them with all of the services that these residents are going to be connected to in this community. And it's a privilege for me, quite frankly. I live a couple of blocks up the street here. It's a privilege now in my new role to be able to go around from Pennsylvania to West Virginia and Virginia and everywhere in between and talk about what we're doing here in Wilmington, Delaware, because it is truly remarkable. And it is a product of the dedication and the people and the commitment that we all have to getting this work done and doing it the right way. It looks like the Congresswoman and Senator have left. I think Andrew Dinsmore is here for Senator Coons, and I'm glad to see him here. But it's also, it's important to thank them, because a lot of what they do in Congress to advocate for funding is what makes this work happen. A lot of times HUD is behind the scenes. We work through the city, we work through the county, we work through the Wilmington Housing Authority to make sure that our funding flows into these projects. So sometimes we're behind the scenes, but we're very much there, and it is a privilege to work in an administration that gets it. That gets that this is the type of project that we need to be building, that this is the type of community that we need to be creating, and that it needs to be done in a fair and equitable way, and one that is really making our country a better place. So thank you very much, and congratulations.
Thank you there, Brother Matt. All right, next up, we're almost there. I promise you, we're almost there. Now, you got the timer back out? All right, we're almost there. Next up, we're going to hear from some of the people of Riverside. We're going to hear from the people. I always like to say the people. All right, so first up, we have a beautiful lady who's going to be coming up here. She is a very special woman, Allison Mendez. Allison is a Riverside resident who will be moving into Imani Village in the near future. In addition, Allison is a parent of the Early Learning Academy student. Allison's joy, positivity, and love for Riverside is contagious, and I'm excited to have her come up here and speak. So some love for Ms. Mendez.
Good morning, everyone. Good morning. As you know, I am Allison, and I've been a Riverside resident for about almost 6 years. Single mother of 2. I love the community. I love being here, being a part of also Kingswood Community Center, as I also work there as do janitorial work, and my children go there to the Early Learning Academy and the summer camp, and they love it just as well as I love it there. I love that you guys have been able to open up a safer community, because when I first moved here about 6 years ago, there was a shooting right behind my house. And it scared me and my kids, but till this day, it's changed. Just because of what you guys are doing for the community. And I love it. Thank you so much.
Thank you, madam. What's the time? 53 seconds. We have a new leader. Did they count? Did they count? They count? All right, all right. Look, my paper's all over the place. But this next gentleman come to the stage. I mean, I know him very personally. When I went to the Boys and Girls Club, he was one of my mentors there. Then he became my barber. He's been still cutting my hair, made me have the dopest fade. It's not cut right now because it's hard to get into his calendar. He grew up here in Riverside. He has about 7 businesses. I don't even know. How many businesses you got now, D-Reed? 25. Somebody said 25. I need some more time. Okay, look. Ladies and gentlemen, show some love for Derek Reed.
Man, this is a wonderful day. You ever wake up and just know it's going to be a great day? I'm Derek D. Reed, the owner of Trust Renovations and Remodeling. I actually started it probably about 3 years, right before the pandemic. I started the company Trust because I wanted to build another company that, you know, people could look at as African American owned and that someone can trust. So that's why the company is called Trust. You got it? I knew Logan was going to do that. That's my guy. So I want to thank Logan personally for the opportunity and Kenyatta for the opportunity. Please give them another hand. I know we've been clapping them up. Without them, this wouldn't have been possible. The Sabatino company, I want to thank them as well. Jeff, my guy, Jeff in the back somewhere, I want to thank you. Even Don, I see you in the back. You didn't think you was going to get a shout out, but I got you. You know what I mean? So I started Trust because I always want, again, I wanted to start a business that people actually can, you know, call on and that's reliable and, you know, somewhere, this is a company that you can depend on to come and get the job done. Also, Aaron Bass, I want to thank you too. You gave me my first big commercial job. We renovated East Side Charter School, so thank you, Aaron, for that as well. So, 2909, I used to sit on that step right there with my junior high school sweetheart on that step. Talking about how we're going to have a plan for life and get up out of Riverside, right? She's here right now. It's my wife 25 years later. Stand up, kid. 25 years. We just celebrated with 4 beautiful kids. Again, it's a beautiful day. We got 3 grandsons. One we actually get to meet today. How about that? This afternoon, we flying in this afternoon. It's just been a blessing, y'all. This is so overwhelming that, you know, to be a part of something that I grew up in Riverside. I used to run these streets of Riverside, and I had a lot of role models on what not to do. But I knew I didn't want to be locked up. I knew that I didn't want to, you know, not have a job and stuff like that. So if anything that I'm representing now is that I want to represent that you can make it. Those who are in Riverside now, or those who are trying to make it in this life into a better quality of life, which I think everyone has an opportunity to do. You just have to use your power of choice. I'm not no different than anyone else. I just use my power of choice to go into the right directions. A lot of things that you do may not feel right, but may be right. You know what I mean? It's some stuff that I had to leave my friends, or I had to say, no, I'm not going there. It didn't feel right as a young guy, but I knew it was right. So I started leaning on what I knew was right, and better just do what I just feel was right. You know, sometimes you get in your feelings and take you to the wrong way. You know what I mean? We lean on feelings so much, but feelings are what sometimes gets in trouble. But if you do what you know is right, and that's what I've done. I've done what I knew was right. Me and my wife, we sat on those steps many times. That is her old house right there. You know what I mean? I used to walk around on Henderson Drive, one of the places that we actually tore down over here. And we had 12 people living in our house. Everybody lived there. My mom, my brothers, my sister, their kids, grandma, Mr. Eddie. You don't know who Mr. Eddie is, but everybody has somebody in the house named Mr. Eddie or somebody that lives wrong. Y'all know. You know what I mean? Riverside Bucket 26, right? You know, because you know why our moms was, you know, love and they used to welcome everybody in. You know what I mean? And me and my brother used to share the same bed, and this Frederick Reed, who owns the Reed Refuge Center. Shout out to him too as well, because we was together. We slept in the same bed until we was 14 years old. My mom used to rent out the other bed. How about that? You know what I mean? So, you have no idea the stories, but I call that story from the projects to progress. And you can make it from the projects to progress. And just like Logan was saying, this whole thing today is about how the village is stepping up. And believe it or not, y'all, it's true. It takes a village. And today, the village delivered. And I'm proud to be a part of it. Thank you, and God bless you guys.
I know he didn't reach the time, did he? What was his time? 3:44. It was worth it though, D. Reed. Shout out to D. Reed. He found his love of his life on the step, running the streets in Riverside. And found his wife. All right, next up coming to, we're almost there. We got two more, all right? Next up coming to the stage, who was my first role model, who kind of paved the way for me. Coming up is, like I said, you know, growing up where we grew up at, you got to look up to somebody. And my dad was the first person I looked up to. He went to college, went to Norfolk State University. Any other Spartans out here? Sorry, Dad, you by yourself. Or a lot of Hornets. But he showed me, I remember, always wanted more because the first time he took me to New York City, I seen it was a bigger world outside of Wilmington. And I kind of credit that to you taking me to New York. You probably don't even know it. I never told you, but taking me to New York City, that opened my eyes and my heart. And I always felt that I wanted to become something big. So it was that trip we took to New York to go meet Tommy Hilfiger. And like I said, this guy has done phenomenal things. He's one of the top journalists in the country. When he was writing, he retired. Let him tell you he retired. I'm done. I'm just doing events. I just do here and there. I'm retired. You know, he's fashionable. He's everything. But one of my favorite memories from my pops was when he used to take us skating at Ellesmere Skating Ring. Right? So my dad was making a couple of odds back in the day, right? Working at Philadelphia Inquirer. He used to pull up with his Lexus and he used to roll the window down. And he used to play this song. He played the song out. He know what it is. He played the song out. One time he kept playing the song and people was like, yo, tell your dad that song is old. What song was it? DJ, play that song. You better come on and show some love for Freud H. Campbell. Come on up here, Pops. Look at him. You see him? Look at his shoes.
I'm gonna get you, Blake. But that is my theme song. That is my theme song. And what Blake doesn't know is I played that song so that the kids can see that where you come from is not always where you're going to end up. But what I really want to say today, because I'm overwhelmed, my mom's house is right there, 2911, and my mother lived in Riverside for 30 years, and I came here at age 12. So to look today and see this entire new place, it's just totally, totally amazing to me. Riverside, a friend of mine recently said to me, she wanted to throw me a party because you one of the ones that got out, she said. And I said, I didn't get out, I moved out. Riverside is still in me. Yes. And I went to college, I've had all kind of training, I went to all kind of internships, but the best education I got for success in this life was in Riverside. I love this place. And the fact that Logan, who worked with my company for 10 years, from model to mogul, so to speak, it's like Tyra Banks, right? That he was, to see him do this and make this happen today, I just want to say that it is beyond belief that this happened. And it is more than a dream come true to me. It is a dream realized. And I look so much forward to the future. And my mother wanted to be here today, but she wasn't feeling well. She wanted to see it for herself. But we'll bring her for a tour. So thank you so much, and thank all of you for being here today for Riverside.
All right. Appreciate that, Pops. All right. We're down to our last speaker.
What was his time?
What was his time? 1 minute and 30. Look, you wanted the prize. You tried. You couldn't do it, okay? My dad's speaking for less than a minute. What? Not going to happen, okay? I knew you wasn't getting a prize. Nah, we appreciate those words. All right, next up. In our final speaker, we're going to have our president for Penrose come on up here. I know we have an introduction, but due to time, he's going to come up here and say a few words. Mr. Timothy Henkel, come on up here, ladies and gentlemen. Look at him. Look at this suit. Check out this suit. This guy looks like money.
I look a little upset because I have neither a nickname or a theme song. I'd just like to say, text the word Imani to 50155. I did that already. Yeah, he's like, I know.
He's spying on us.
So you can turn the clock off. I'm not even gonna take a shot. It's just not really worthy of the event. I have too much pent up to say, not because of today necessarily, because the last event I went to, I got blown off the stage by a storm. And today I'm gonna take advantage of the good weather. I'm standing in the back going 16 plus 16 times 4, doing the math. There's 128 full seats here, and at least that many people standing up behind. And that says yes, Logan. It says community. It says village. But I'm gonna dig one layer deeper, and it's a word I kept sitting back there, kind of waiting to hear. But you all said it in different ways. It's family. It's family. You know what? Like I heard an anniversary, a birthday, a girlfriend. You know, it's all here today, and it's really special. I do try at the end of these long speaking lists. This is a record, but like long speaking lists to try and bring it all home and combine some themes. Obviously, that's very challenging here today. One thing I want to particularly address is the quality and the skills of our development team. When I say development team, you'll see them in your program. They are architects, our engineers, our contractors who have doubled the local hiring goals on this project. That's worthy of a little applause, I believe. We always say the goal is not the minimum, and when we double that goal, I'm looking right at you, DSAP guys. Well done, very well done. And I'm sorry for trimming my name down to DSAP. D17O, everybody. Yes, I'm sure I don't have to remind everyone. The other thing I want to mention is that we're here at the opening event for Phase 1. As originally contemplated, this was an 8-phase project. Through the hard work of many, this is now a 6-phase project. It didn't get smaller; it just got faster. I come from a long line of track and field people. I married a marathoner, and I know that she's got it right. It's a marathon, not a sprint. And I expect to see all 128 times 2 of you here at the Phase 6 opening sometime in the future. This is just the beginning. I think the mayor said it very nicely, though. You need to enjoy the trip. You need to celebrate the milestones. You need to enjoy it along the way. And I think this day is really important in that way. Along the way, though, you get thrown some obstacles. So we've gotten here despite COVID. We are not ready to celebrate the end of the supply chain issues. We may be faced with inflation and interest rates, but are we going to quit? No. Does family quit on family? No. And so I think that what we brought together here, what Logan, you brought together, what the Housing Authority has done in selecting us to join your family is really a privilege. What we see here is the results of that privilege. I want to really acknowledge the knowledge, the power, and the wisdom of the purpose-built model, which basically says, we're not going to do it for you, we're going to show you a way it works. You find out your own ingredients and put it together. And so Carol, speaking here today, I really heard that very, very clearly. It's an exciting recipe, I'll call it, especially when you've got some good cooks in the kitchen, and I think that's what we're seeing here today is really the accomplishment of that. I also want to acknowledge a little more deeply our financial partners. They are also our family. They accept our signatures on the bottom line when we sign on the big loans to do these projects. We're always grateful for them. So M&T Bank and Sonera are both here. They're all in the back. They're generally the most thrilled to be picked off the speaking agenda. So they're pretty enthusiastic. And I'd just like to end by acknowledging, Charlie, your words. I'm always aware in my own life, I'm aware in the lives of those who we hire, those who will manage this project, those who will put their blood, sweat, and tears. Development is a marathon into this project. That it's life's work. It's not quick and easy. It's not super gratifying every second along the way. But when you hear somebody like that say, "I poured myself into this," and he's not the only one, obviously. But you put it very well. You dedicate yourself into something. Someday you'll be standing up here speaking and saying, "This was worth my life," and I'm glad that I've done it. And I'm glad I'm here on my wife's anniversary and her birthday. I'm very excited for you. This is obviously a wonderful, wonderful day. And then finally, I'm going to echo County Executive's remarks, who said, we stood here in the beginning and said, what are the chances that we can actually do all this? Doubt. Doubt is always present in our minds. These are the days, these are the moments, these are the milestone events where we say, hey, listen, remember that's this day, and we're doubting the next day because we can do it. You can absolutely do it. Thank you for welcoming us to the family. Thank you for letting us run the race.
Thank you, Timothy. Timothy mentioned family, and I would be remiss if I didn't mention my family. I got a lot of credit for the work that's done here, and everyone has already recognized my beautiful, wonderful, talented staff, my team at the WRK Group, all of the board members, and all of the partners. But everybody knows that my number one cheerleader is sitting right here in front of me. My mom, Imani Village. I have to recognize my family. Sean there, I see you, my love in your bag, and her mom, and I see my Vicky and Uncle Butchie, and to a certain extent, you all are family. When I started this out, I talked about the why, and I think everybody also knows my little son, my 5-year-old LJ. I didn't make him come today because I didn't want to subject him to an hour-and-a-half long press conference because he's used to it. But I want him to have the best possible life that he can have. I want to make sure he has every opportunity to be successful. And that's why I do this work, because everything I want for him, I want for every child growing up in this neighborhood. And that's what we're doing as a family. I have one board member I want to recognize, and that's Sonia. Sonia, always got the phone out. If you are a friend with Sonia on Facebook, you know she is chronicling everything that's happening here. But when you speak about family, Sonia, again, is a resident here, and she's on my board. She is my boss, and she has raised a beautiful family. And her son, is it your oldest son? Your second oldest son. You got a lot of sons, but they're all beautiful. But one of our sons, Izzy, is here, and he is offering chair massages after. So, who is our shortest speaker? Alice Mendez. You are the first person in line to get a chair massage. Congratulations to Alice. And so with that, we are about to conclude the event, but we cannot thank you enough for being here and being here every single day that we do this work. Ryan Bailey, shout out to Ryan from the Penrose team. I don't think you got an intro. I see Christian next to you. I've been staying all day long listening out to all the people that made this possible. But again, this is just the tip of the iceberg, as Charlie said. So Blake, I'm going to bring you back up to close this out. Remember, this is a celebration. This is somewhat of a family reunion, so hugs and kisses, socially distant and responsible. Thank you guys.
Keep on clapping for Logan one more time, ladies and gentlemen. Logan and the team putting this thing together. Yes. Now, I know I ain't get it. Look, Tim said he ain't have a nickname or a theme song. So I got a nickname and I have a theme song for you. Your nickname is now T-Money. Play his theme song. I get it. Now you want to come up to the stage again? You want to do it again? Look, he's getting red over there. Tim said, hold up, player. Nah, we appreciate all of you guys. We appreciate all of our speakers. Clap it up for all of our speakers. I think we 11 speakers. Am I allowed to say the real number? We had a list of 27 speakers. We set a record. Shout out to the marathon. But before we get out of here, a couple quick announcements. Once again, where's Don? Don, where you at? Put your hand up, Don. We're going to be doing tours with Don right here in the community building. All right? Also, we got Jerry Dean's in the back. That's free lunch. That's free. I know we spent a lot of money, so that's free. Make sure you go check that out. Also, like Logan mentioned, it on chair massages right here in the community building. Also, we're about to get together for a photo op. So all of my speakers, please go on over to the left. We're about to do the ribbon cutting. We want to thank you guys. If you had a good time, say yeah. Yeah. You had a good time, say yeah. Yeah. All right, God bless you guys. And let's do the ribbon cutting. We'll see you soon. 4, 3,